What's up, world? My name is Joe.
And I am Carolyn.
And you guys are listening to the podcast that's trying to save the world one podcast at a time. The Carolyn and Joe Show. My name is Joe Carabay. I'm a filmmaker, a photographer, a writer, a musician, and today I am the podcaster. I am the podcaster. And across from me is the greatest woman I've ever met my whole entire life, the cartoonist, the ultra creative, the brilliant mad scientist mind, the person that's making smiles one panel at a time. Her name is Carolyn Belevsky. How you doing, Carolyn?
I'm doing great.
Number 20. Podcember number 20 is what we're recording here today.
And we haven't missed a beat so far.
We haven't. We've been slicing and dicing them.
Already.
Villains going by the sides. That's how we're doing it here.
2/3 done.
So just so you guys know, like we try to remind you every single day, Podcember is what we created. I think it's what we created, but it's something that we're doing. Podcember to us is 31 days of podcasting in the month of December. Every day we do a new podcast until 2018. Until the whole entire month of December is done, we are delivering a new podcast for you, the listener. And if you're listening to us live on Facebook Live, if you have a question, a comment, anything, we are here to do that. We're here to interact with you and have the best possible thing. It's about us. It's about making this conversation.
It's about experiences.
Exactly. And some subject, we just jump right into it like we usually do. Yesterday's episode, Carolyn asked me about my top 9 images on Instagram, and the reason why it made me sad.
Mm-hmm.
So we can just.
I would like to know why.
We'll just jump right into it. All right, just describe to people who don't know on Instagram the top 9. What exactly is this top 9 that people are using?
I feel like people should be familiar with Instagram.
Let them know.
I mean, I can explain it. So Instagram is basically, you know how there's like Facebook and Twitter and all that. It's a social media platform.
Oh, not Instagram, but the top 9.
No, I'm getting to it a little bit. So there is you basically post an image. You don't even have to necessarily write anything with it, but people do write some stuff and then they hashtag stuff. So anyway. The top 9, it's a thing on Instagram that people do at the end of the year in December, and a lot of people have been posting them recently. It collects the 9 images of your full year from this current year, 2017, where they pick your top 9 images that are the most liked, the most hearted. There's a heart symbol where you like an image.
Yeah.
So they'll pick the top 9 and then put them in a grid for you, as Instagram does. So you have 3 rows of 3. Makes a nice little square. That's how Instagram presents the images in the square. So what are your top 9? Did you run the program and see what you got?
Usually I do run the program and I always decide whether I do it to release it or not. And I end up usually always releasing it because why not? It's something to do. That's pretty much what social media is, something to do. And one of the things that what I did do was I did one for the Joe Carabeo _ photography, and I did one for the Astray J. Astray J one is pretty much like, it's it's more like the behind the scenes. It's more like the It's the wiretap. It's the wiretap to all things like Astray Productions and stuff I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And then Joe Carabeo photography is pretty much like the portfolio. It's just the work,
Yes.
of photos, pretty much. Maybe some film
stuff. So
stuff.
like Astray J's behind the scenes, and then Joe Carabeo _ photography is straight up portfolio pieces.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. It's just the final work.
Okay.
And sometimes I do that on the Joe Carabeo, but pretty much majority of the stuff I post on the Astray J one is reposts. Reposting everything that I'm doing.
Which account did you do the top 9?
I do both. I did both. I did it for all of them, except for the band page.
Now, which were you upset about? All of them?
Well, I mean, mainly, I'm not upset. I'm just more or less not, I guess, sad about it.
Why? Cut to the chase. What's going on?
I'm not going to cut to the chase because I have time to tell this story here on this podcast.
I mean, tell the story.
I'm not cutting the chase here. I'm going to tell a story.
Tell the story.
I don't know why we're going to cut to the chase to anything. It's not the point of a podcast. So pretty much, you do the same. You do this. What? Do you want me to cut the chase? Do we have more story to tell?
No, tell your story.
I'm just telling the story of what it is.
Yes, I'm listening.
So every single year, I pretty much do that. I'm like, I wonder what, because the top 9, it is what it is. It's what you think people. It's showing what people are into on your page, right?
But it's not what you think. It's what
it's what the people. It's or what It's telling you what your top 9 is. Pretty much your top 9 images that people like of what you've delivered. And so with that, let's go find out. I feel like this year, like any other year, not like any other year, but this year I had a more diverse layer of work. Got some film stuff in there. I got some band stuff in there. Got some even like I went in started the direct to ink, which I thought was
and
which
this is
drawings.
on your Astray J Instagram.
Yes, this would be the only one that would do that. That would showcase that work. The Joe Carabeo page, Joe Carabeo _photography page, doesn't do much but just post pictures, of, I mean, it's a thing, but it's just like portfolio work. I don't really have a personal attachment to that. I mean, yeah, it's my work, but it's not really something where I'm like, that doesn't encompass the whole entire idea of what I do.
But from what you're saying, it sounds like you got good variation though, because you have some ink drawings. You have portfolio pieces. You got your band stuff. So what?
Yeah,
did you not like about it?
That's what I'm saying. Like the Astray J Instagram, is a better representation of what what Joe's portfolio is compared to the Joe Carabeo _photography one, which is just that's just an extension for people who don't feel like going to my website. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's basically a teaser to go to my website. To go to like the Joe photo side is what that is, but the other side is that's the Astray J one that's the one where you're more wiretapped into what I do.
Yeah, I just checked it. It looked like you didn't post it yet.
No, I haven't posted any. Okay. I haven't posted any of them.
Okay.
I haven't posted any of the top 9.
But you're going to, right?
No, I don't know what I'm going to do.
Oh, okay. I thought you said you would because you said it's just something to do.
I still got plenty of days. I've done it. Mm-hmm. It doesn't post it. You can save the image. You can save it without posting it. Right?
Are you waiting like another? How many more weeks do we got? Less than 2 weeks to see if you can get more hits, to more likes.
I personally don't really even care. But the main thing is that you take that time, and that has a good amount of so the Astray J one has a good amount of work on there.
Mm-hmm. So what made you sad?
What made me sad is you see you have I can't look at it because my phone is actually the one that has the top 9 in it. Yeah, but I would say that the work that I'm the most proud of, expanding is like usually. I mean, I think I'm trying to encompass it that like a lot of stuff there is represented on the top 9. Like I got like there's behind the scenes. The number one thing on at least right there so far, the number one was like the behind the scenes of me shooting that Jerry Subs commercial with Sarah Wilson. That was number 1.
Is that how they rank it? Like the top left corner? Is that the highest ranking?
Left to right.
I didn't know that they ranked it like that. Yeah, I have to check mine.
Yeah, so I was looking at that. So that was number 1, and then like, me like doing behind the scenes of an interview for the. I'm trying to. What I'm saying, what comes down to is like, okay, there was photos of girls, and there's other behind the scenes. There was no band stuff on there.
I thought there was. You said there was some band.
There wasn't any like real behind the scenes of films or making movies. It was still just representation of like. At the end of the day, what are you tired of waiting? Do you want me to cut to the chase at the end of the story? Is that what the attitude is?
I just don't know where you're going with this. Like, I don't know what's making you sad.
I'm saying, well, because I'm telling you the story, man.
Okay.
What do you have no patience at all for a story? All right, I'm going to let you tell your story then.
No, I don't have a story. I'm listening to your story right now.
Yeah, why can't you just do that without having an attitude?
I'm listening. I don't have attitude.
Yeah, you do.
I haven't said anything.
You're like the, hurry up. I got other stuff to say attitude.
But anyway, so you said that there was band stuff on there, but then later on you said there wasn't any band.
I didn't say there was any band stuff on there.
Okay.
I'm just saying my Astray J page
I see. You post band stuff, but it didn't make it into the top 9.
If you were to look at my page, you'd see there's a lot. It's a pretty diverse thing.
It's basically
I know you haven't seen it yet.
It's basically like everything you do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But your band wasn't represented.
What are you waiting for me to
9.
say, Carolyn? It seems like you're waiting for me to say something, or you already know what I'm going to say.
I don't know what you're going to say.
Or you're just sitting there impatiently.
I don't know. I can't predict.
It seems like you're very impatient, or you just want me to get this over with, or you're tired of me saying the story.
I haven't heard this story yet, so I'm listening.
Yeah, but why are you standing there like all impatient? I gotta close that door.
Okay, go close it. We have some audio interference in the studio, and Joe's closing the door. But I can predict, I think, what I think you're going to say about what makes you sad. The prediction might be that since you're telling me the number 1 image is of Jerry Subs and Pizza commercial that you filmed and directed, and it has Sarah Wilson in it, which is cool, I think you're sad because
I'm not sad.
Your feed is all hot chicks.
I'm not sad. I just find it sad. Even though that's the number 1 with Sarah that's great and all, but that's like the least interesting thing.
But it's a hot girl eating a sub.
It's not even a hot girl photo.
Isn't that like a Hardee's type like?
It's not even a hot girl photo.
Conceptual though of like the hot chicks that are just eating hamburgers. That's Hardee's, right?
It's not even like. I mean, I guess I can just like search it again. Maybe in this time. Let's go.
No, that's okay. I mean,
no, it is. It's
okay.
It's
we need some visuals. We need some visuals.
We'll just go through it. What's it called? Instagram.
I just Googled Instagram top 9 2017 and then entered in my.
Let's just do it again.
I mean, anyone can really do it for any account. That's the funny thing, too. Like, you can just put in, like, anybody's handle and see what their top images are. Yeah. It's not like you have to log in specialty.
Where is it? Is that what it's called?
I'm sure they have some type of link to it, right?
Is it right here? I gotta find it now.
It just said enter your Instagram ID.
This is the link to it.
Isn't it some type of URL that's like top 9 blah blah blah? There's probably all these articles that are clickbait that are like how to make your own top 9.
This is lame.
Don't they link to the actual site?
All right, we'll just do this. We'll just do this again.
Here we go. Here it is. Joe is typing in his Instagram ID. Astray J.
Astray J. Let's see what it is.
All right.
Let's see for once and for all what my top 9 is.
Now generating. It will take a while. It takes a couple.
It takes a couple minutes to do this.
It's all like.
Now you gotta be more. Now you gotta be more patient, Carolyn, and go and do this.
I will.
You gotta get your patience up and running.
Like, as Axl Rose says, all you need is just a little patience.
Yes, that is exactly what he says.
And I will obey you.
Well, but you did the top 9. Did you already post your top 9?
I already posted mine because at first I was gonna wait some, but then I was like, yeah, people go on vacation. It seems like people have already pieced out. I don't know about you, but I can say from the DC area as of right now, I feel like people have already pieced out.
Well, it's strange because towards the end of the year, I always feel like I need to get more work done. I don't know what it is, but it's like
you're like I gotta get it in.
It's like there's still time. I can still do all this stuff before the end of the year.
Well, that's, I think, a good, positive way to think, but I feel like tons of people have already pieced. So we're like halfway through December. I mean, we're only, 5 days away from Christmas? Are you serious? That's freaking crazy. But, like, I feel like a lot of people pieced.
A lot of people pieced.
Yeah, because
they pieced.
Because also, I think schools are out.
Yeah.
They're on the holiday break, and so I think a lot of people are taking off days to be with their families. I know Christmas is on Monday. And then I know a whole bunch of people that are taking off like Tuesday and Wednesday. So they're going to get that longer weekend. So it's like 5 days off of work total. But they probably are taking some days off from the week prior. Like they're taking off like Thursday, Friday.
See, it's weird because and I guess the way my world is, I want to work because I don't have a guarantee of work. You know what I mean?
No, but you know how Washington is, of course, like I personally felt like the traffic was very light today. I mean, you can never really guarantee anything, but there is a time in DC where, like, when the holidays happen, the traffic gets very light. It's funny that no one works on those days except for, like, important people like myself.
Oh, here it is.
There it is.
All right. Top 9.
So let's see. You got Sarah Wilson, and then what's that second one?
Okay, I'll go list the top 9. And
describe them.
It's glaringly obvious what's sort of missing from this, and it's something I'm very proud. Number one of my top 9 from this 2017 bestof9.com. The first one is behind the scenes of me shooting the
Jerry Subs and Pizza, right?
Actually, I was wrong. It's not.
Oh.
It's actually it's the post I did wishing Sarah Wilson happy birthday. And so it has like a montage. It has a montage of like all the things I've done with Sarah Wilson. So her birthday.
Her birthday is the most important thing of your year.
So apparently to this, not even my birthday, which everyone forgot, wasn't even the number one. Wasn't even the number one thing.
This is depressing me, Joe.
Like no one even cared about my birthday this year. I got absolutely nothing. And then on this one, people cared more about Sarah Wilson and her boobs than that. That's my number one. And then the second one is my appearance. My number 2 is my appearance at the DC Web Fest, which is also a crop image that potentially has bullet stringer that's also attached there, but she's cut off since it's a wide image. And this image was probably reposted. This was not even my image. This post was a repost from the DC Web Fest Instagram.
Their account.
So that took their hashtag, so they just jumped off of that.
So now, to give you some credit, at least on that image, I feel you're actually in the image, and you were at the DC Web Fest, and you got an award. And I won an award,
so that's cool.
Okay, that's nice, Joe.
The second one was when I was Instagram. I took, I think at the beginning of the year when I was sending out the images, my postcard images, my what do you call those? The promos that feature Hannah Elvington on it, and it was me telling a story about how an older woman actually helped me send out, like, put stamps on all those hundreds of postcards. That was cool. The fourth one was an image I took of Baby Metal from the Red Hot Chili Peppers show. Mm-hmm. The second one was actually a new one of a headshot I shot of Amy from the DC Web Fest. So that's interesting because that's like brand new. That's brand spanking new.
And it went right up there. Number 5 slot.
But that was also a repost. That was a repost from the DC Web Fest. Mm-hmm. The second one was another one repost from the DC Web Fest of me being interviewed, getting ready for the DC Web Fest because I was a filmmaker there. So that's 3 from the DC Web Fest that was there. And then the seventh one was actually me posting 3, like what's it called? A
triptych?
Triptych or 3 panels, 3 images of my appearance on a live feed from CNN from when I was filming for America Divided when I was there at the Charlottesville protest.
Okay, I feel like that's a solid one.
Yeah, that is a solid one. And then the third one, I think it might even been. I'm not even sure if this was a birthday.
Why are you calling it third?
Sorry. It's fine in thirds. The 8th one is of Madeline Ferris, the photo shoot that we did for her, not for her, but for Work magazine. I think this might have even been a birthday, or it might have been a reveal, but that was her.
Because you did that a while ago, I think.
Yeah. And then the other one was a photo series I did with Tessa Marie Godard from DC Web Fest, but I don't think this is from the DC Web Fest.
So it's actually from your account?
Yeah.
See,
not from my account, but this is from my account.
So it's not a repost, is what I'm saying.
The biggest glaringly thing that makes me so pissed off, or not pissed off, but really sad to say, and this is one thing, the most proudest achievement I feel like I have done this whole entire year, that I've been doing constantly for a whole year, that's not represented here, that I feel like makes me feel like no one gives a crap, is no direct-to-ink is on this. No direct-to-ink work has made it to my top 9. And I feel like that's the one thing that I felt like had constant majority likes going in. But apparently it does not. And not only that, but then again, there's no actual film work that was represented here except for my appearance there this thing.
My commentary on looking at this image. First of all, this image as
I
a
guess
whole,
it is the riot, not the riots, but yeah.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
So this.
Sorry. Go ahead. Continue being pissed off.
This image as a whole, I feel like, is kind of upsetting, and I agree with you for this 2017. Like, you think that you're like, oh, it's making my image of everything that I've done this year, and I don't think it accurately represents your year.
It does not.
And it's disappointing in the way that I feel. I also agree that I wish that at least one direct ink.
At least one,
because it's representative.
All of Inktober, I did one for all of Inktober.
Exactly. So the only images on here that I think should be, I like the DC Webfest, which is the second one. I mean, it's not necessarily the greatest image ever, but it shows you at the poster at the premiere or whatever at the event. And I feel like the America Divided one, 1, 2, 3. So that's number 7.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a good one. And also I do like the image, the mermaid image that you did of
Madeline.
Madeline, but it wasn't done this year, but I think it's a nice image. Those 3 are the ones
Actually, I'm wondering if it was done this year. I'm trying to remember.
No, it was a while. It was not this year, I believe. Now
I'm trying to think though. I think it was done this year.
Really? The actual shoot?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know that for a fact, but I feel like it wasn't done this year.
I think it was because that was my last one I ever did with Work Magazine, and then I did their December one, which was January. That was the one with Sarah. I shot that last December 5th, and that came out in January.
Okay.
And then the Madeline one was after that, I believe.
I think my memory is a little bit different, but you might be right. So, okay, but either way, those 3 images I feel like are worthy, But then it's like, well, the other 6, I'm like, why are those on there? Because like they're not horrible or anything, but and then you only have 2 that actually show. Wait, actually no, 3. Does the first one have you in it?
Yeah.
Okay, so 1, 2.
I have to.
3. You have 4 out of the 9. You're actually in it.
And like I
find that interesting.
I mean, at the end of the day, this is still all my work. You know what I mean? But all this is still. I mean, all this is still there. All these are great things that I've enjoyed, but great work that I really like. But I'm still sort of mad that there's no direct ink on there. I really worked my ass off for the direct ink
and
stuff.
You have 740. What is it? 46. 746 posts.
Yeah.
And those are your top 9 out of all those. It's like, I know that you have other better things.
Also, what's interesting now is because like now there's a lot more. I'm posting a lot more stories too. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if that's neutralizing things.
That might take away from. I don't know if it takes away or not. I have kind of like. The stories are hit or miss for me because for a while I was like watching them. I was really into it. I was like, oh, cool. I'm going to check people's lives out and stuff. But like recently I haven't checked out stories in a long time.
But I still did direct to ink. To me, I was
monumental.
Freaking excited about that. I mean, to me, the direct to ink is a real personal project for me. And I thought like that would have been nice to have that represented a little bit.
But maybe that's why I didn't. It was too personal to you that no one else cared.
Yeah. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, no one else cares. No one really cares.
But you know what? Given like the amount of like, let's just say quote unquote hot girl photos that you have, like I'm surprised that when you were originally opening with this story saying that you were sad about it, I actually thought that you would have more like of the typical hot girl photos. And I was like, oh, that's kind of, at least you don't really have it that badly. And can I talk about my top 9 for a sec?
You can talk about it all day long.
Okay, so I have to say that I was also a little bit disappointed in mine. Although I do think that I have better images than yours, but
better representation?
I don't know if it's better representation, but I just feel like visually like it looks better overall than how yours is laid out with all the tiny squares and such. Like it looks more like a jamble on yours, like as one piece, as all the top 9. Mine feels like actual chunks. But I guess what bothers me about mine, and I know someone might be like, oh, don't complain about something good, I guess, but I am not trying to come off like that. but I will say I posted a lot of art this year. Like, I distinctly don't post a lot of selfies. Not because I think I'm ugly or I don't know, whatever. I just want people to really focus on my actual artwork. So there's a reason why I don't really post myself unless I'm at a comic convention. That's the only time I usually post a picture of myself, because I'm like, hey, I'm at such and such show. Come check us out at New York Comic Con. Here I am at the booth, stuff like that. So it's just telling people like how I look like, where I'm at the booth. I feel like it's a valid representation of myself and not just trying to be like vain and showing myself. But what bothered me is that a lot of the images of me like came up on my top 9. So 7 out of the 9 were pictures of myself.
And what is the thing you're trying to get over the most on your Instagram?
Like my art.
Yeah.
So it's funny because like only 2 of the 9 is my art.
See, to me, that's sort of like ridiculous,
So basically, I should just post like cute pictures of myself.
Well, that's what the statistics are saying,
Yeah.
but that doesn't get over what you're trying to get over.
I know. So like to me, that's so ineffective. So like all this time that I'm spending on Instagram, picking a nice, like I've been trying to do like at least an image every day recently, just to be like, hey, I'm still alive and making stuff, like, and it's hard to keep up. And some people say to do it twice a day. But it's like, I'm trying my hardest to put myself out there, I guess. And then what really matters, I guess, to the masses is just like a cute picture of my face.
Well, that's why I feel like
which is nice. But then it's also like, but pay attention to my art.
Well, that's why I say for my solution was to divide it, as in you got the Stray J is the one that's going to, be part of me and also the other work that I do. And then the Joe Carabeo _ photography page is going to be the one that has just the pure work on it. Mm-hmm. So you get people just go right there for the work. I mean, that could be something. Like you could have the Curls Studio one, which just has the art, and then the Carolyn will be the split. But that's tough because it's like the name is the same as the brand.
Yeah, I mean, also it's, to me, that's like, oh, another Instagram page to run. To me, it just seems more work because it's like, well, if you're going to like me, you're going to like everything I make. So that's all you get. You get it all. You know what I mean? Like, and I will say out of like the pictures of myself, 4 of them are from Comic-Cons, like Asbury Park Comic-Con, which also happened a while ago. And then there was an older picture of AwesomeCon, which wasn't this year. And then another picture of AwesomeCon, which wasn't this year. And then Mocha, which was this year.
Christy Bancroft has not Christy, but Christy has a question or comment: masses versus Insta algorithm ? So Christy says masses versus Insta algorithm ? What does that mean?
I don't know if that's a question.
Is that
or
a question?
It's like a versus. Or is she just questioning their algorithm? I don't know. But you know what else is crazy too? I will say the one cool thing about my top 9 is that my Inktober montage of all 31 turtles that I drew for every day during the month of October got in there.
Yeah, you
and
won.
And that I am proud of. And then the other cool thing is that 2 of them are actual animations of photos that I made myself. Like I went to the what's it called? What was that? Infinity Mirrors exhibit, and I did an animation of myself going from black and white to color.
That's cool.
And like that, it wasn't like hard or anything necessarily, but I made the effort to like make an art out of an image. And then another one was like a GIF where I animated like photos that were taken like split seconds from each other.
So Christy clarifies: is it really the masses or just a Instagram algorithm?
I mean, I guess it's an algorithm to see like who liked the most posts.
I was always assuming it's just really just choosing what has the most likes.
Yeah, I think it's the most likes, so it is the masses voting. But
sometimes those likes are fake, super fake bots.
Then there's that, and the other thing that's crazy too is when you post. And I still don't know the details about it, but from the whatever amount that I barely know is that like whatever time you post, there are certain times where I have noticed that you get more likes than if you post at like middle of the day on Monday.
Yeah.
It's like no one cares, you know? But then like you can post something really cool middle of the day of Monday, because I've done that before, and like it does nothing. But if you post at like Wednesday at 5 o'clock or like Saturday morning at 2 a.m., like that, those are some like big hit days. Which is, I find it interesting because I'm like, who the hell is checking Instagram at Saturday morning at 2 a.m.? But I guess a lot of people stay out on like Friday night and then they're like checking it and be like, oh man, who was out tonight? Or I don't know what the heck people are doing.
Well, really at the end of the day, the one thing to, I don't know, the one thing to realize is that it just doesn't really matter.
But that's the sad thing, is like a lot of people putting in all this time to like look great on Instagram, or like, you know, show off all their skills on Instagram. And I follow like a lot of other really cool artists and such. It's like you can tell people are putting in a lot of time and work in there. Even like I know it's silly, but like the holidays, they're like, today is a National Spaghetti Day, and like everyone does an illustration for Spaghetti Day. It's like that's so much effort every day to like do something like that, because I've done that a couple times, and it's like mentally draining on all the other work that you're doing, and you're just trying to like please the masses so that it gets viral for a day, so like everyone's like, oh man, everyone loved my spaghetti image that day, and then the next day comes and like it gets washed away with the shore.
It's all just, really, it shouldn't really bother me, because all this stuff is just make-believe. You know?
Well, it does. I agree. I can see why it does bother you, though, because we're creatives and we care about the work that we make.
Yeah.
And if we didn't care, then I guess it wouldn't matter, but it does matter. And I just feel like we wish that we had some variation in like what we're very passionate about, such as like the Inktober and such.
I mean, I am happy that people like, because like the work, but sometimes it feels like, oh, of course they're just gonna like the chicks. But
I mean, maybe that just comes with the territory. You are on Instagram.
But also at the end of the day, I didn't really have it wasn't really like hot, like, you know, like hot pictures of chicks.
No, it wasn't
that one.
Wasn't at that level of like
the Joe Carabeo photography one. On the other hand, that's all that is. So, but that's what that's for.
Yeah, that's separated.
That's what,
you got to keep them separated.
Yeah. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Podcember number 19 for December 19. Bring it to you. Astray Productions is the one that brings you this show. Check them out at astrayproductions.com. Check out Joe Carabeo's work at joecarabeo.com. Also, go astray.tumblr.com, and also the socials, like we were talking about, at AstrayJ, at Joe Carabeo _photography. And also check out this song and download it, Run by Monday Mistress. MondayMistress.com. Download iTunes. Not GoDaddy.
CD Baby?
CD Baby, Amazon. Just go on the website, download, 99 cents, gets you one song. Just buy all the songs. $10, I think, if you put them all together. What do you got, Carolyn?
Hey guys, I have a website. It's www.carolynbalevsky.com. You can check out my portfolio. It has design, it has comics, it even has some illustrations on there, really fun stuff. And I'm on the socials at Carolyn Balevsky on Twitter and Instagram.
And of course, you can find us on Instagram at Carolyn and Joe Show. Also, CarolynandJoeShow.com, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, wherever you find your podcasting, you can find the Carolyn and Joe Show. Podcember rolls on again tomorrow as we talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. But as usual, my name is Joe.
And I'm Carolyn.
Be excellent to each other.
You're bona fide.
See you tomorrow.
I like that episode, actually.